Thanks for letting me. A common mistake that happens. So the first 50 minutes couldn't hear me, of course. Of course. Thanks, God. That was my fault, actually. Anyway, thank you guys for the heads up. All right, so we have to talk about Khamzat, his brand new deal, the timing of said deal, given the proximity to certain things, No, you guys were right. It was muted. It definitely was. You guys aren't crazy. I definitely had made a mistake setting it up. But yeah, so we're going to start there in a second after we do a little hello there introduction. And what else are we going to do today? We are going to talk about UFC 294, everybody who is fighting, what's on the line, etc. Dude, this is correct. This is absolutely correct. A noob. I don't know what it is about spelling things with an EU that I think is so funny, but I think it's hilarious every single time. Like when you spell cool, Kewl, hilarious. Noob, Newb, hilarious. Every time, dude. Every time. Thomas Betters, what's up? I knew you were going to say this, dude. I absolutely knew you were going to say this. But we've already talked about this. I appreciate the super chat, but we've talked about this. I mean, listen, dude, Topuria is an absolute, utter savage. A savage beast. The likes of which the 145 division has maybe never seen. Maybe, But until Volkanovski has even a, serious test at 45, I can't pick against him, Cannot pick against him. And okay, let me answer this too. Sign the wooden square plaque behind me and sell it to you. How much? I would have to give half of it to the people who made it for me. It was a very kind gift that they made for me. McDaniel's playing the Eagles this week. A little bit nervous. I know. The Eagles are very good. I talked to his wife yesterday, and she is not going to the game because the Philly fans are, So listen, hey, if any of you guys who are Eagles fans, I don't know if this makes you feel good, bad, or other, but the head coach's wife won't even travel with the team to Philadelphia because you guys are such savage animals that she doesn't want to put herself in harm's way. 100% true. That's a fact. Let's go Dolphins. I mean, dude, like I've heard nothing but insane stories about the Philly fans. People are always like, where's the most, what's the most hostile place to play? And, it's like Seattle is pretty, Seattle, they're very loud. But Seattle, it's not like, I don't know. Like I wouldn't be scared, I wouldn't be scared to go to a Seahawks game wearing the opposing team's jerseys. I'm like, man, I guess a bunch of liberals are going to scream in my face. They're all, your team sucks, man. Philly, they might hit me with a crowbar. They're crazy. What's funny about different NFL fan bases is sometimes, I mean, not just baseball. I think actually mostly baseball and football for some reason, not really basketball. At least in my experience, it could just be because I'm from Fufu, the Bay Area. But when you think of really gangster ass fans, right? Like fans that are like gangsters. I mean, there's always going to be that contingent in some areas, but I doubt you would think of the 49ers fans as like heavy gangster fan base, and you'd be fucking wrong. The Niners fans, they're gangsters, dude. And I'm talking like a big percentage of them are, it's like a gang. There's some fucking real deal gangster ass Niner fans. And I don't know. Cause it just depends on the team in the area. Raiders, Eagles, Niners. Yeah. Bears. I've never been to Bears game. So no, she's not. Swear to God that Taylor Swift is buying a team. Tell me that's a fucking joke. Please tell me that's a fucking joke. Dude, bang bang Niner gang. My buddy Joe runs the Niner Empire. He's the president of the Niner Empire, and that is essentially a fucking nationwide gang of gang. It's a gang. There's so many of them. They have chapters all over the country. Badasses. So I do have a Niner. Also, I was a Niner fan my entire life. I mean, I'm still a Niner fan, obviously, but like passionate, psychotic 49er fan my entire life. And this year, it's so crazy. Like I didn't know how it was. Well, not this year, last year too, but most, especially this year because they're doing so well. But like when McDaniel became the coach of the Dolphins, I didn't know how I was going to feel. I genuinely did not know. I was like, I wonder if I have the ability to like genuinely love two teams. They couldn't be further from each other. You got AFC East, NFC West. Is it possible for me to be genuinely like as passionate about both teams? And I just didn't know which was going to matter anymore. And it's like, it's not even close. Like I spend my time looking at Dolphin stuff all day. I could tell you how many yards they did in every single game. I could tell you who their best, like everybody, like I'm a Dolphins fan now. It's just, when you're watching the press conference and it's your boy who's giving the press conference, it's like, does something to your brain where you're like, I guess I'm a hysterical fan of this team now. You know what I mean? Anyway, so what else? Let's talk about the Khamzat thing. I think at 8, I was just trying to give everybody some time to get on before we start talking about the meat and bones of today's initial topic, which is Khamzat Chimaev's new deal. I'm trying to see where I'm trying to pull it up, dude, because for some reason I hadn't pulled it up. But for those of you who don't know the details, Khamzat signed here we go. Deedle doop. We'll go to Brett Okamoto. Khamzat inks a new long-term deal with the UFC a few days ahead of his middleweight fight against Kamaru Usman. Signed the deal Tuesday of this week. So, wait, Tuesday of this week. Oh, no. Oh, man. Everybody just forget we saw that, dude. I like this. That just nukes my whole conspiracy theory. Damn it. Come on. What day was that press conference? Forget it. You know what? I don't care. Okamoto doesn't even know that. He doesn't know for sure. So, okay. So anyway, the details of the deal are it's a 7-fight deal worth $20 million if he fought every single fight out, right? It's also going to be, inevitably that will be more if he's the champion. But 7 fights, $20 million, which is just a hair under $3 million per fight. So, do any of you guys know of any other UFC fighters that make, and so I assume that's it's either 3 flat or 1.5, 1.5. In either case, that makes him one of, if not the highest paid UFC fighter, not named Conor McGregor, in non-championship fights. Like just as far as their base deal goes, right? Like I'm not saying that I don't know, Colby versus Masvidal, that those guys didn't make more than $3 million, obviously, but those are one-off deals, right? So if someone's not the champion, they're going to headline a show. Colby versus Masvidal, Dustin versus Connor part 2, or part 3, whatever, that kind of stuff. Those are one-offs. It's not their structured baseline deal. So the way I think about their contracts is like, this is the minimum that they This is the minimum that they can make. And then if circumstances change and their value goes up, the UFC can offer them additional money in the actual bout agreements, right? But so either 1.5, 1.5 base and win, as far as I know, is one of the biggest deals that they have. I think Gaethje is on 1 million. I cannot remember how I learned that. But I know, I remember being like, damn, Gaethje's on 7 figures just for show money. That's awesome. Totally earned, totally deserved, you know? And, but I do know, what I do know for 100% sure is that in negotiations, you know, without getting into the weeds, guys who very well could, you know, if someone's making 1.5, 1.5, this, you know, in the negotiation should have been one of those people. And they were told, like, no one makes 7, you know, no one's over $1 million just on base if they're not the champion. That person has subsequently gone and signed with another organization. So you can take a guess who that is. But anyway, I mean, listen, dude, Khamzat deserves it. Of course. This guy is an animal, dude. But man, let me go back to it. Why did Brett have to? You know what, dude? You know what, actually? That's Brett Okamoto saying that. This right here actually reinstates my conspiracy theory now that I just realized it's Brett. Now, did anyone else say that he signed it on Tuesday? And I'll tell you exactly why. Hang on. Okay, so he's saying that it was Tuesday. Now, why is that notable? Okay. Hang on. Okay, so on this day in MMA, thank you for the super chat. If Usman can get this win over Khamzat, how much does it affect his stock moving forward? Does he stay at 85? Yeah, for sure he stays at 85. Whoever wins this gets the next title shot at Strickland. It's a number 1 contender fight. So whoever wins definitely stays at 85. And if Kamaru wins this fight, if he wins this fight, dude, his stock is through the roof. Through the roof. You have to kind of take into account the circumstances of Kamaru's losses. Like, he lost 2 in a row. So I personally do not think this, but I know, just because I kind of have my finger on the pulse of the MMA community, that people think that he's on, that Kamaru's on the decline, right? They're like, oh, because anytime that a guy has won so many in a row and then he loses a couple, everyone always thinks, oh man, the guy's on the decline. And they don't really consider the circumstances behind their losses. Because, like, as an example, now, obviously Kamaru has, whether he actually hurt his knee this week, I mean, if he says he didn't, I believe him. There's no reason for me to, you know what I mean? It's like, there's a report on Twitter that he says his knee popped. I watched the video. Sounded to me like he said it popped, but whatever. But then if the guy comes out, I can't tell for sure. You know what I mean? And then he comes out, he's like, that's not what I said. What is everybody talking about? There's no reason for me not to believe him. I'm sure that he's telling the truth. Nonetheless, we all know that he has knee issues because he's personally said that he doesn't run anymore because of his knees. So he definitely has physical issues just from wear and tear. But it's like it's always like with guys in their mid 30s and probably right around 34 and on, you have this thing like this, which is their skill set. If they're guys who are grinders and constantly learning with their body, which is why when guys that's why TRT Vitor was the scariest dude ever, because he has a lifetime of skill development. And then he has this cheat code that keeps his physical here where he's not, he's not dealing with recurring injuries and all that stuff. And he's just so with Kamaru, yeah, I mean, his body might not move quite as well as it did before, but his skill set is higher. Anyway, so it's neither here nor there. In the fight against Leon, the first one, it was just as dominant as any other that he's done. I mean, he completely dominated Leon, completely top to bottom. After the first, so first round went to Leon, and then 2, 3, 4 were completely dominant. It looked like he had broken Leon, and then boom, takes a head kick, he's out. So to me, that's okay, he made one mistake. not a fluke, but like if he would have made that mistake at any point of his career, he gets knocked out. At, in the same circumstances, he does this, and there's a shin right there. He gets knocked out. So like that doesn't necessarily indicate a decline. So then when you watch the next fight against Leon, he didn't look slow to me. He didn't look, he looked like he looks, you know what I mean? So going into this fight, I'm not looking at this in terms of like, oh, Kamaru, but kind of like I'm not looking at it like I was looking at Tyron Woodley after he had lost 2 in a row. It just doesn't feel the same. When Tyron started losing, he started losing every fucking round, So, to me, if Kamaru wins this fight, his stock is through the roof. And the Strickland fight is very interesting. If Khamzat wins, I think it depends on how it goes, no matter what. I mean, like, obviously, if Khamzat beats Kamaru at 85 and then he's going to go fight Strickland, I would assume people are going to think that Khamzat is probably the favorite, just because, I don't know. I just think they will. I mean, it's a weird stylistic matchup, kind of, it's like if dude, bottom line, anybody who's trapped on the feet with Strickland seems to be in a bad spot if they're trying to hurt him. You know what I mean? Like, he just seems impenetrable. Straight Shooter, thank you for the super chat. Eagle Stadium had a jail and courtroom in it. No way. No way, dude. Is that true? Thank you for the super chat. Keith Thompson, thank you for the super chat. Weird that he also said in the Nina interview that 7 fights was worth about 20 mil. Just timing, I guess. In the Nina interview. I'm confused. I'm confused by what that means exactly. Let me know and I'll respond to it. Thank you for the super chat. But yeah, anyway, but going back to the original point that we were talking about like the timing of this. And now that I re-examine the Brett Okamoto thing that says, because look, Okamoto is an ESPN guy who is definitely on. Okay. You have people who are, Nina Drama. Got it. So you have people who, sorry, I got Nina Paul on the brain, dude. I was like, wait, what? Okay. So when you like, there are, very visible UFC like reporters, right? Like what I do, I'm not a reporter. I'm not a journalist. Guru is not a journalist. Like that's just not what people who break stories for, breaks. That's Ariel. That's Okamoto. That's these other guys that are at the press conferences, etc. And you have people who are on the inside and people who are on the outside. And what I mean by that is like, if Ariel puts out a story, you can rest assured there ain't no spin on that the UFC sent to him directly. Now, of course, UFC can get a story out with spin on it to Ariel, but they have to do it through an intermediary that they do have. They're like, look, we want Ariel to put this out, but we need it to come out with this spin on it. If we try to feed it to him, he's going to, whatever. So tell Ariel you got this tip and this is what we want him to play. Like, they would have to be an intermediary. Okamoto is definitely on the other side of the curtain. He is an organization guy. That's not a bad thing. I just mean, like, if he puts something out and says like, oh yeah, make sure that he says that he signed his deal on Tuesday. It's like, he's like, all right, he's not going to ask any questions about it. It'll just be like, all right. I mean, in most cases that, like, hey, he inked it on Tuesday. Let me ask you this though. When have you ever seen part of the official press release, which is this through Okamoto, about a guy's new deal? When have you ever seen what day they signed it on? Like, now that I'm thinking about it, that's actually really weird. You know what I mean? Like, it seems kind of bizarre. Oh, he inked it on Tuesday. It's like, all right. Now, I'm going to just make this perfectly clear. Everything that I'm going to say from now on about this deal is complete and total speculation, right? Total speculation. What's not speculation, right? What is not speculation is the following, and I think that we should just revisit this really quick before I get into this, because It's a big deal. All right, so hang on. Let's just go. Boop, boop. Let me just fast forward to the actual clip. The main event of the evening. So let's and so
I didn't make weight, and everyone speak about I didn't make weight, once in my life, and there was some plans to do that way. It's not my plans, but I can't say everything here, and
so let's just, one more time. Right. So that happened. That happened on Wednesday. Okay. So that happened on Wednesday. So Khamzat came out, is doing his press conference, at UFC 279 when he missed weight by 8 pounds. 8 pounds. This is a guy who had gone back and forth between weight classes easily with sometimes 10 days notice. Like, this is not a guy who struggles with weight, right? He fought twice in 10 days. I think he did that like twice. He's easy with the weight. And then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, the doctors told me to stop cutting. And they said the doctors told him to stop cutting. They're all, when he was 8 pounds over, they're all, you can't take any more. Khamzat, he's all, I can't. They're all, no, you're about to die. He's like, so I got to stop. They're all, you need to stop at 179 pounds. He's like, gosh, all right, I stop. And then they're like, because you were about to die, but you're still good to fight day after tomorrow, right? He's like, I don't know. They're all, you can still fight. Like, you're fine. So he's told to stop cutting by the doctors, but yet somehow he's able to fight, 1.5 days later, no problem, just at a catch weight, which happens to match up perfectly with this. Bottom line, the Nate Diaz now fights Tony Ferguson. When they reshuffled the deck, it was very obvious to me that this was a work, because also, in the previous 36 hours, suddenly Kevin Holland and Khamzat have this huge beef, like out of nowhere. They're throwing shit at each other. You not no real gangster. And you're like, okay, and now they just magically get to fight each other. Gosh, all of this is really coming together with just an absolutely unbelievable amount of, luck, I guess. This just seems really lucky to me. So I knew it was a work because it had to be. But I said that, right? I said that on the channel. Shab said that. Pat Miletich said that. And Dana called Pat Miletich he called him an idiot and a moron. And then he was like, that would be fucking illegal. That would be illegal. And then they were like, actually, it was Brendan Schaub that said that. And he was like, oh. And he kind of smirked and did a walk-off. So what's funny about that, though, is Schaub heard about that, but he didn't watch the actual press conference. A little inside baseball, dude. So Schaub heard about that, but didn't actually watch the clip. And then if you remember, Schaub put out a fucking nuclear response to Dana, because he thought the way it was communicated to him was that all the stuff that he said about Pat Miletich was said about Schaub. So Schaub was like, fucking balls on this guy. And he put out that, he put out a fucking hard response, man. And then subsequently, he actually watched the press conference and was like, all right, that wasn't as bad as I thought. I was like, no, yeah, he's talking about someone else. But nonetheless, Dana lit those guys up and called anybody who believed it was a, conspiracy a fucking idiot. Then on Wednesday, Khamzat was like, hey, brother, remember when Jesse on Fire and Brendan and Pat Miletich were made outcasts of the MMA community because they said that I missed weight on purpose? Well, guess what? What they said was absolutely 100% correct. Okay. So in that regard, though, that's what he was talking about, was that he was, in a conspiracy to miss weight on purpose for UFC 279 so that they could reshuffle that deck and not have him fight Nate. And then, so they could have Tony Ferguson fight Nate and all that shit, right? So I don't know. I have no idea what the actual implications of that being out there are. I have no idea. You know what I mean? I really don't. And so one thing that Dana said was he said Pat Miletich should know better. and then he called him an idiot and it's illegal. I mean, for me, at least I can plead, like, if what he meant by that was like Pat Miletich is an insider, he should fucking know better than to say something like that because of XYZ. I have no insight about that. I don't know the fight business well enough to know whether I was just implicating them in some fucking crazy crime. I don't know. Because if that is like, if what they did is somehow like a huge violation against the athletic board or like actual legal ramifications, if that's what that was, and I knew that, I never would have said anything about it. I would have never said anything about it, but I don't, and still don't. And so I don't really know how big of a deal it is that they did that, but they did that. And so when I hear that, so that was Wednesday, and then I find out on Friday that Khamzat signed this huge new deal, oh, they renegotiated Khamzat's deal right before this fight. I was like, really? Let's see. Interesting. Like they, like why right now? He already signed the bout agreement. I mean, maybe he only had a fight or two left on his deal. Totally understand. But it just seems like, I mean, there are certainly other explanations. As an example, they look at this, they're like, if Khamzat wins and he has a fantastic win in Abu Dhabi, then his value could go up exponentially. They want to get this deal locked in before something like that happens. Who knows? Maybe he has 2 fights left on his deal and they want to get this in, because that's what happened with Francis. It's very possible he has 2 fights left and they want to just get this locked in so that he doesn't end up in a position where he only has 1 fight left on his deal. That's possible. Also possible, they were like, okay, get this guy on a new deal and make their, attach a fucking non-disclosure agreement that is ironclad so that this guy legally cannot say shit like that ever again. Like I said, total hypothesis, complete and total speculation. No idea if there's even 1 drop of accuracy there, but who knows? Revelation TV. If KU wins, how does it affect this new, if Kamaru Usman wins, I mean, it doesn't affect it at all. That's the whole point. I mean, in reality, like I saw someone down there say it's very common for them to sign new deals before they fight. That's 100% true. Very true. Very true. But, I mean, look, dude, like let's actually just take the conspiracy theory off the table, which there is really no evidence of whatsoever other than just, it's like, yeah, really, there's nothing. Like I was when I called they shuffled the deck on the Nate Diaz card, conspiracy. I was extraordinarily confident that I was right about that. I felt probably 95%. Like I just based on all the circumstances around it, I felt 95% there was something fishy going on that I could see. On this, I have 0 confidence in the reason them signing him to a new deal would be to implement some new NDA or whatever, like 0. It's just something I just was like, oh, I wonder if fucking dirt. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh, Logan Paul's going to sue me for what? He's like, this dude is way too good looking. I catch Nina late at night watching all of his videos over and over and over. She says it's because she hates him so much, but I have a feeling that that's not true. Getting this sneaking feeling she's watching him because she's touching herself and thinking about him being mean to her. What? Just kidding, you guys. I was just kidding. I'm kidding, Nina. Jesus, relax. People don't want to sue me, dude, unless they have a really strong case. Pretty good at that stuff. Oh yeah, I'm not working for the UFC. I don't even want to work for the UFC. Not because like nothing against the organization. It's just like, I don't know. I know a fair number of people work there, and like it's, behind the big banner, like it's just a company. It's just like your day-to-day is not very different from working for fill in the blank company that you might not necessarily want to work for. It's an incredible end product. It's cool that you work there. After 3 months, you'd be all right, I just have like a regular job. You know what I mean? Listen, dude, they're an awesome company. That said, an awesome company like them, like this is what I've learned about organizations like that you like think in your mind that you want to work for. UFC, NFL, right? Like organizations like that have a really like big, awesome face that where everybody's like, I want to work there. Dude, outside of really high level leadership jobs, they pay dog shit because for obvious reasons. How much do you pay someone to do a job? Right? There are certain places where there are like certain parts of your organization that you want to pay top dollar to attract top talent, but you don't need elite top talent at every level of your organization. You need people who can accomplish a simple job that is their, task list for the day and for the week and for the month. And there are a lot of very talented people that will take half as much money to work for the UFC as they would to work for any other organization. That's the same as the NFL. And so they pay dog shit because people will take the same level of talent will work there for way less money. So they pay them way less money because that's what any smart organization would do. Anywho, so break down the fourth wall a little bit. I mean, I've told that story over and over and over. Remind me later in the thing. Like if you remind me, like just do a $2 super chat in, I don't know, half an hour and remind me and I'll go through all of it. I need at least $1 to tell that story. I'm just kidding. Just to make sure that I see it. I mean, what's up, Mike Showtime? How are you, sir? Kamaru said, I'm going to go with Cosmo. Not that. Oh, is that what he said? I saw that he put out a video and he said he definitely was not hurt. And he was mad at he was mad at the clickbait channels to put it out. And I was like, okay, so my response to that is just like, okay, I guess I understand that for if he's talking about MMA Orbit or whatever, like whatever organization put that story out on Twitter. Okay. But like, if he's like, I can't believe that Jesse on Fire, Michael Bisping, I'm sure Guru, I didn't see, but like all these channels talked about my knee popping. And you're like, wait, are you fucking serious? Like you're fighting in the co-main event. And there was a report that you said your knee popped and you have a history of knee injuries. Like what the fuck? Of course they're going to do fucking videos about it, dude. Obviously. And then once you put a response out and you're like, hey, my knee's fine, then everybody goes, all right, his knee's fine. But if you put the video out before anybody's responded, like that's just to expect anything else is stupid. Like, of course we're going to do videos about it. You know what I mean? The RR show, nobody huh? What the hell is the RR show? Oh, wait. Okay, wait. The RR show, he has to win first to lose the time. What the fuck? What the fuck are you talking? Who? I don't understand. What on earth is the R&R show? I don't understand. Usman wasn't pissed at me. He was pissed at everybody. Greg Schuster, thank you for the super chat. Khamzat signs contract and NDA with NASA for $10 million. The next day, you never landed on the moon, brother, but I can't talk about it. Exactly, dude. No. Like if seriously, if that's the exact equivalent, like the exact equivalent would be like he signs an NDA, he's going to work on the lunar landings. And he signs an NDA and then they interview him and he's like, listen, brother, everything's not exactly as you see. I mean, ask yourself, what did you actually see? How would anyone know where these images are coming from? How would anybody be filming something and live streaming it on Earth in its 1969? I can't really talk about it, though. You know, this is someone else's plan. I can't really talk about it. You're all, I wonder what he was alluding to. No, he didn't. Mr. PV5, I will ban the living fuck out of you for a joke like that, if that's true. Doop, boop, boo. Deep, beep, beep, beep. Lie, lie, lie. Lie, lie, lie. You get to sit in time out and think about what you did. You're going to time out, you stupid fuck. Why would you do what you did? Go sit in timeout and think about what you did. Anywho. What are the chances of Dylan Danis showing up at the next WWE pay-per-view and causing Logan Paul to lose the belt? That's simple. So, 0. I would bet you that all the WWE people certainly considered that because those guys are fucking animals for publicity. But they've got a long-term relationship with Logan here. Like Logan is like, I mean, dude, have you guys actually watched Logan do WWE? It is legit bananas. I don't watch fucking WWE. I didn't watch WWF when I was a kid. I never watched when I lived in my fraternity house, there were like a couple guys that would watch it. And so I sat in a room because these guys were like so into it. I was like, all right, I'll give this a run and just see, like if I can like get into it, like it's a TV show. I watched it for like 2 weeks and I was just like, this is right. Like, this is when like The Rock was the guy. And I just was like, I just don't understand. I can't get into this fucking shit, man. Like, I just can't. But dude, I mean, if you've seen any kind of highlights of WWE ever, you just kind of know what like they do. When you watch Logan, you're going to be like, what the fuck? It's insane, dude. Like, it's fucking insane how good he is. He's like, he can do all, like, usually when you have like these celebrity people go do them, because I've seen, that kind of shit, they teach them these really basic things and they do those. And it's like, I don't know, what's a good example? Like, I remember when they had Dennis Rodman on and you could tell like he didn't even come to practices. He was just fucking it up so bad. But Logan is doing these shit. I mean, you just have to see it. It's nuts, man. Like, anybody can tell he's fucking awesome at it. I played high school football with Justin Fields. That's sick. Thank you for the super chat. Okay, we're done with WWE. The only reason we're talking about that is because of Logan and the Dylan one. Alicia, finish your thought. In one of my recent videos, dude, honestly, sorry, this is the last thing we're saying about WWE. This has been my take on it all along. Because I've always been a fan of real, okay, first of all, I wasn't allowed to watch it when I was really little. Like when like other kids were allowed to watch it, my parents didn't let me watch it. Dude, I'm like the fucking walking example of why you should really be taking like stock of how your kid is wired. And then if they're kind of trained for this, like neglect, like don't let them do these things is the wrong fucking thing. It's like, if you could tell, it's like, okay, so when I was playing soccer, as an example, when I was young, like I was small at the time and I would just go mash people. I got so many fucking red cards. It was crazy. I never even really liked soccer. I was good enough that I kind of had to keep playing, but I would my goal was to trip people, step on their face, smash into them. I was obviously in the wrong sport. It was obvious. And my parents, like, from when I was really young, they could tell that that's what kind of kid I was. And they were like, okay, so the right thing, don't let him play with G.I. Joe. Don't let him watch WWE. you know, anything that's a little too rough. I mean, like, it's just not, it's like, dude, you should, that's the exact opposite of what you should have done. Like, for me, I would have been like, okay, so this kid's fucking crazy. Let's put him into martial arts. Like, let's put him into jujitsu. When I, like, if I was my own parent, I would have had me in fucking martial arts when I was 5. But my parents were dumb. And so they, like, you know, restrained it. And then it turned into, as soon as I could make my own decisions, my whole life revolved around fucking violence. It's just dumb. Not a smart way to parent people. Fucking granola ass hippies. I'm just kidding. Jared Zuckerman, thank you very much. Did you see Francis smoke that 7-Eleven door? I did. Wait, what? Let me look. Oh, shit. Okay, here we go. This is on Mac Life, so I can actually show it. All right, so here we go. Let's watch this. Okay. This happened at the weekend. My dad's shop in Vegas. Francis thought it was a push door instead of a pull. Dude. If that's staged, fucking brilliant, dude. I'm gonna find out right now whether it's staged, and I'm not gonna tell you guys. This guy seems a little. Oh well, I was gonna say he seems too mad, but you know, it was all set up. If you and Joe, thank you, JC. Thank you very much, dude. If you and Joe Rogan had a phone booth fist fight, who's walking? Dude. Hey man, you didn't need to pay me $20 for me to answer that with 100% fucking certainty. Rogan. Do people like, I don't think, thank you very much for the super chat though, my good sir. I don't think people understand how fucking dangerous Rogan is, dude. Like, if you take all the people in the world that are not professional fighters, like who are not professional fighters, like Rogan is literally in the top fucking handful of people. Like, that guy is so dangerous, dude. If you get in that close, like, he's a fucking, you know, he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu and his challenge is short limbs, right? Body type similar to mine. He's a little fucking ball. You're in a phone booth, you know? He's just, I mean, he has a dozen ways to fucking break your arm, strangle you to death in the phone booth. And then if you try to step it back, he's a fucking murder machine. At least he can't fucking, at least he can't do that spinning back kick though. Cause I swear to God, I really think that spinning back kick to the solar plexus of a regular person that's not, you know, not built like me or, you know, probably a lot of you guys, just like a regular sized soft person who doesn't work out. I think it kills them straight. If he kicks them with that to the solar plexus, I think they die. I really do. No, I'm taller than Rogan. I think Rogan's 5'6" or 5'7". I'm 5'10". Yeah, probably. I don't know. I don't know when. He's not like he hasn't been doing them as much, I don't think. But most of the guys, like when he's doing them, most of the time they're like with the local guys in LA. Rogan's not 5'2", dude. I'm pretty sure Rogan's like 5'6". But he's a fucking brick house of muscle, dude. I mean, I don't see why this would be You know what? Let me ask Shab actually what Rogan weighs. I don't think I've ever asked anyone that. The Jordans, this dude, okay, so the dude who won the Jordans has not responded to me. That's actually a good point. Let me go back. It's like a dude whose last name is McCorn. Oh, let me actually make sure that he didn't respond to me. Hang on. And I'll say it again. His name's Christopher. Oh, he did respond. Oh, so he responded 3 fucking days ago. I missed it. I'm glad that you asked. His name's Christopher Macron. We're going to out him on Instagram right now. Thank you for reminding me, dude. All right, so he officially is now being followed by Jesse on Fire. This is our Jordan's winner from last month, Chris Macron. He's going to get a nice piece. Oh, dude, he likes blue. I'll get him some fucking Blue Jays. Oh, Blue Jays. Actually, hold on. Let me boop. All right. I met him a while back. I'm 5'7". I mean, yeah. I mean, you mean, you know. Do you want to see who oh, wait, hang on. I'm trying to figure out a way I could show you the email thread without fucking showing you guys this guy's address, but Chris Macron is the one who won. Yeah, Shop thinks that Rogan weighs about like 190-ish, probably around the same as me. So if he weighs the same as me and he's, 3 inches short, I mean, he's a fucking brick shithouse. Jesse subs 14-year-olds on the reg. No. I let people who are like significantly smaller or not as strong as me, I just let them work. Let them work. You're a family man, but would love to go to UFC. You don't drink or anything. Would that make me look weird? No, dude. I mean, you could come and just, as long as you don't care other people drink, because, other people drink. But in all honesty, I don't really drink that much either. Even at these events, I'll have like 1 or 2 drinks the whole night. Dustin, thank you very much, dude. Sending some more turmeric shots with the nitric oxide for increased blood flow. Thanks, dude. Appreciate you, dude. Shit makes a huge difference. Rogan's not 30. No fucking way Rogan's 30% body fat. No chance. 0 chance. Dude, so speaking of Kratom shit, this new sponsor they have, these Happy Hippo, if you check them out, happyhippo.com, and then I think it's actually here. I think it's Happy Hippo, and then you use promo code Jesse on Fire for a discount. Like, dude, the reason I took them on is because for like as an example, Gabrielle and I, we're going, or my whole family, we're going to Cancun next week. And like when you're at a resort all day, if you know, like powder sucks, dude. You know, powder sucks. You go back to your room and dirt. But like, you know, you bring this with you. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, which kind of Kratom shot do I want? Or bring like these taffies. These are actually good. These actually taste good, which is fucking unreal. I've never had anything that had Kratom in it that actually tasted good, but their shit tastes good. The extract taffies. But anyway, if you go to happyhippo.com and then you use promo code Jesse on Fire, it's the bomb, dude. I mean, I could do a kilo of Kratom giveaway, but I think that would disqualify most people caring. I mean, like, I don't know, I don't know what percentage of people. Oh my God, people are such morons. YouTube has me fucking pegged, dude. The only time they send me alerts on comments is they know exactly what kind of comment pisses me off, and then those are the notifications I get. You know, it's not rocket science. They're like, oh, he sees these ones and he responds. If you don't know what Kratom is, then just don't worry about it. Kratom's legal in Canada. All right. So now Kratom is addictive, for the record. That's why I never talk about what it does. If people know, they know. But if you have a history with other types of things that are way more serious, it's like it's literally equivalent to someone gets clean off blow, and then you're like, dude, just drink a cup of coffee. That's exactly how I look at it. It's like, oh, you used to have an opioid problem and you get the itch. Just do Kratom, you'll be fine. That's how it is for me. So Islam against Volk is very interesting in the exact way that Islam said on Embedded. You know, where he said that because Volk says he hasn't been training very much, and this, that, and the other, that like all of the pressure's on him. And that's so true. Now, performance-wise, you can't just like in a fight like this with these two guys. What's the right way to put this? Like when Bisping beat Rockhold, you know, coming off the couch, not coming off the couch, but coming off of like a movie. I honestly don't think that applies here, because Rockhold had serious, you know, kind of gaps in his game that Bisping was able to exploit. And that's, you know, he was arrogant to the point that he didn't respect his opponents. Like, that's what I always said about Rockhold. Like, that's what Rockhold's problem is his skills are so fucking good, but he's so arrogant in there that he just doesn't, like, he walks around, he's so loose, which makes him, you know, kick really hard and makes him really dangerous. But like, it says, like, dude, you should be afraid of your opponent. Like, everyone should be afraid of their opponent. You should respect what they have enough to take everything they do seriously. You shouldn't relax, dude. And he always looked too relaxed, and Bisping comes over the top, hits him with a fucking left hook that he doesn't see and puts him out. Like a situation like that, guy coming off the couch, catches a guy like that, or Kung Lee when he beat Rich Franklin. You know, Kung Lee, I know for a fact Kung Lee did not train for that fight. He knocked out Rich Franklin in the first round. Like those are like fluky, weird things where it seems like a high-level fight or a championship fight. Guy comes off the couch, beats the guy. I just can't, like, Islam has no weaknesses like that. Like, bottom line, like, Islam is not a guy who doesn't respect his opponents. He's not a guy who leaves himself wide open. Like, you know, it seems extremely unlikely that he's going to get beat on a thing where he makes a single mistake and gets caught. You know, I mean, I know he got caught one time when he got starched, but like that, just to me, it seems like that's way less likely with him than other people. Now, Volkanovski obviously is a tremendously better opponent than almost anyone you could think of who would be coming off the couch, not trained as much. And I'm certainly not counting Volkanovski out at all. I just mean, if you're going to have two guys coming in and fighting and one guy did not have a full training camp, I think Islam is one of the worst possible opponents that you could fight on short notice, is kind of my point, you know, because his game is so complete and he's so fucking good that, you know, especially in a 5-round fight. But it's Volkanovski. I mean, who knows, dude? But I mean, you have to lean towards Islam. And I'm seeing like on all these polls are picking Volk. And I'm like, really? You know, I mean, but Volkanovski is absolutely incredible, dude. He is. I mean, I would never pick against Volkanovski at 45. Never. And I'd probably pick him in most fights at 55. It's just Islam's different, man. You know? But we'll see. And then in terms of predicting how the fight is going to go, I don't see how anyone would expect a different stylistic fight from the last one, because you got to see all the different phases or the different facets of their games, which is totally complete. You know, defense on the back, you know, like Islam is on Volk's back the entire time. Now, if that fight does not indicate to you or doesn't illustrate what I'm always talking about the tremendous advantage in jiu-jitsu of being built like this, then I don't know what does. You know what I mean? Like whose submission game in the UFC is going to be significantly better than Islam Makhachev if he's on your back? Not many people. Maybe Charles Oliveira, maybe a handful of other people, but he has probably as good a game as you're ever going to see with someone attacking someone's back, you know, when they're on it. And he couldn't choke Volkanovski because Volkanovski is really good, but also he can just do that. You know, it's incredibly valuable. It's incredibly valuable. But then also, you know, like both of them had success on the feet. Islam had much more success on the feet than people expected, and Volkanovski had much more success grappling than people expected. I will say, I think the more, oh man, you know, it's like, so what I was about to say is the more Islam can initiate grappling, the better for him, because he had a full camp. And so if you go gas tank to gas tank, the grappling is going to take more energy. But the reality is that Volkanovski's never looked gas ever. So like, even if he hadn't have a full camp, I'm not actually sure if going gas tank for gas tank is ever the right call with Volkanovski. So I don't know, dude. It's a very, 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 very tough fight to call. Okay. This is insanity. That's just fucking weird. If you got that spracked on Kratom, I would make a strong suggestion to never, ever, 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 ever do like an actually really addicting product. Because Kratom is like I said, it's like a cup of coffee. Anyway, so that's fair. I mean, but dude, even when he does have to cut weight, we've never seen him tired, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a very, very tough fight to call because the last one was so close, but you know, we'll see. I'm excited to watch it. That's for goddamn sure. And then on the Khamzat versus Usman one, man, it is, I mean, That is such a tough fight to call. But listen, dude, if again, okay, so for my prediction, well, let me actually say why it's so tough to call. A, we've never seen Usman at 185. We've never seen him at 85. B, is he as physically capable as he always has been? So I'm just going to say, like, take that shit off the board. We're just looking at styles and skills versus styles and skills. I think the speed advantage goes to Khamzat. I think the grappling advantage probably goes to Khamzat, but who knows? You got 97% takedown defense against 100% takedown defense. So you're likely going to have a stalemate where they're stuck on the feet. That's my point, is like, the safe money is that those two guys end up in a stalemate. Now, that said, people have had success grappling against Usman. They have. Leon Edwards spent the first round of their first fight, or their second fight, on his back, right? And then he, you know what I mean? Like, he was able to take, that was the first time someone took Usman down, and then actually he didn't just pop right back up. I think if Khamzat gets him down, that's a totally different ballgame, But I think it's fair to assume that it's at least above 50% chance that the majority of this fight is on the feet, right? And if the majority of the fight is on the feet, I don't see how you pick against Usman. I don't see how you could possibly pick against Usman, because what indication have you seen? Like, what is the reason Khamzat is so dominant? You can't just rewrite the book on what they're good at and what they're not, right? Like, I don't care what anybody says. Dylan Danis' jiu-jitsu is fucking bananas, but you saw him box. Like, it's not like a thing. It doesn't just translate over there. And Khamzat, we've seen him in a stand-up war against Burns. We saw two guys with big, aggressive looping punches against each other. And again, the consensus after that fight, dude, if I went back into my text messages from back then and I showed you the conversations I had with the most credible people in the industry, literally every single person said the same thing, because that's when Kamaru was still the champion, and everyone's like, what do you think about that versus Kamaru? Oh, Kamaru whips that fucking ass. That's what everyone said. Every single person was like, Kamaru will beat his fucking ass. Is it a different Kamaru? Maybe. Is it a better Khamzat? Probably. He's probably better, but dude, straight punches beat looping punches. Khamzat is all speed and power in his stand-up, and Kamaru is precision, dude. You know what I mean? So I don't see how anyone can pick in a stand-up fight against Usman. I don't see how they could do that. So I gotta pick Usman. Now, again, I hate the fact that he didn't have a full training camp. I fucking hate that. And because I just have absolutely no idea what kind of shape he's in. But it is a 3-round fight. He is a champion. I don't think him and Gaethje, I can't imagine him and Gaethje take too much time off to where they're just sitting on the couch playing video games for months at a time without training. Yes, Usman stand up. I agree with this. I think, listen, if Khamzat gets, I just want to make clear what my prediction is. I'm not saying who's going to win the fight. I'm saying that if Khamzat is able to get Kamaru on the ground, that's a fucking problem for Kamaru. No one who has built their fight game around offensive wrestling has ever been an exception to the rule of when those guys get put on their back, they do not do well. That always is the case. These guys who are offensive wrestlers, if someone actually successfully puts them on their back, they don't do well usually. That's just, I can't think of any exceptions to that rule. I'm sure someone could think of one, but like, they don't like being on their backs. You know, maybe you could say GSP, but GSP became an offensive wrestler as he developed his game. But like, you know, but again, if Usman's takedown defense holds up, or if he's able to take down Khamzat, which, you know, I don't even see why he would engage in that type of fight. If they're stuck on the feet, I got to pick Kamaru. But who knows? Again, Kamaru's knee might have popped. You know what I mean? I don't fucking know. $10,000. I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Let me look something up here. Now, Kamaru coming off 2 losses also, like, I mean, maybe that would fuck with his confidence, but I doubt it. I doubt it. Especially because he's at a new weight class. He kind of gets to feel like he's getting a new fresh start. But also, like I saw someone say he's gotten submitted before. That was 10 years ago. 10 years ago. Now, to put that in perspective, okay? To put that amount of time in perspective, Dylan Danis went from white belt to black belt in 6 years. There are tons of people who have gone from first day of jiu-jitsu to black belt in 10 years. So if a guy got submitted 10 years ago, that is, I can't even fucking there isn't a word strong enough to indicate how irrelevant that is, you know? A weakness is a weakness. That's just not accurate. That's completely not accurate. Oh, a weakness 10 years, like that's just ridiculous. Ridiculous. That's just not true. When you're talking about a person getting submitted grappling. He was a pure wrestler. Someone who knew jiu-jitsu choked him out. That was 10 years ago. I'm not even, who knows if he even had jits then. He's a black belt now, dude. He's a black belt. Even if he gets choked, I'm saying the fact that he got choked 10 years ago is irrelevant. It just is. No, a weakness is a weakness, but a weakness that he had 10 years ago in submission grappling is totally fucking irrelevant 10 years from there, because what indication would you have that he has not closed that loop? You know what I mean? It's a fault in Usman's game. He never choked out anyone since then. Okay, well, are you talking about him getting choked, or are you talking about him choking other people? Because I mean, I don't even understand. Like, I thought you were talking about he got choked. Kamaru only has 1 submission ever. He's a ground and pounder. Let me see what submission he did get, though. I don't even remember him subbing anyone in UFC. Okay, so he got an arm triangle. Oh, in the Ultimate Fighter finale. And you know what? The arm triangle, that is a wrestler submission too. Like, arm triangle is like, you know, like that's, I mean, it's obviously a jiu-jitsu technique, but that's a technique where you get to that position through good wrestling, not, you know, like that's a top game, you know, like skill. You get to mount, then you trap their arm, put your ear next to you smash their ear against their arm, you with your ear put it through, and you could finish it one of 2 ways, but like, or one of a couple ways, but like you get to that position through wrestling. So that's not even really like a, you know, it's not like a arm bar from the bottom or whatever. That's like a, Exactly. Derek Brown. His weakness can become a strength. Exactly. 10 years of jiu-jitsu training. That's what I'm saying is like, oh, his jiu-jitsu sucked 10 years ago. And you're all, what's he been doing since then? They're like training jiu-jitsu every single day. And you're like, so how would that be relevant? You know what I mean? Like, that's my point. It doesn't make any sense. Oh, for sure, UFC wants Khamzat to win. For sure, they want him to win. I mean, dude, Khamzat might go in there and whip Kamaru's fucking ass. You know? No, he's right about that, though. UFC does want Kamaru, or they do want Khamzat to win. Really? When? Thank you, that guy. I mean, the reality is I don't even do predictions. You know, like I'll only do a prediction if there seems to be like in my analysis seems to be like a gaping obvious hole that's like, okay, well, this is what's going to happen because of XYZ. Otherwise, I just play it out like I'm playing this one out, you know, like I'm just thinking out loud. You don't really know how fast or strong or whatever. You don't know if you have prime Kamaru. You also never seen him fight at 85. On the feet, I've seen, you know, like Khamzat looks wild. He's like all fire. Now, he might be calmer now. He might have learned his lesson after that Burns fight where he went out there and just went totally fucking nuts. You know? But like, again, if I had to pick, I don't know. I would say I'm maybe even like 55% Kamaru. 55% Kamaru. Maybe 60%. It's hard. Like, it's one of those things where like the Khamzat hype train and like picturing how he's done against other people, like when you're, you know, like you just like separate the data out and then you're like, all right. It's like, he's fucking scary, man. Like, bottom line, he's fucking scary. This is, please explain this to me. Based on what? Khamzat's a better boxer than Usman. Based on what? Like, you've seen his boxing in one fight, and it was against Burns, and that was a very even fight. I was there. Usman boxed Masvidal and put his fucking jaw 12 rows into the upper deck. I'm not saying that Khamzat is a bad boxer. I'm saying Kamaru is a good boxer now. He wasn't always, you know. This is exactly what I'm saying. Like, what's the right way to put this? Okay, so like there are lots of people in the UFC who don't take their job or don't think about their role the way that a genuine champion does. Like, knowing someone's mindset is really important. That's why after Ian Gary did that stupid fucking clown show with the Neil Magny thing about, you know, oh, he said it's cool to beat up kids. And I was like, shut the fuck up, Ian Gary. Like, just, you're making a fool of yourself. Then he did the press conference and he talked about when he wanted a title shot, why he didn't want a title shot now, what he's visualizing for his game. And I was like, that guy's going to be a champion. You know, he's making an ass out of himself in the fucking pre-games, but I'm hearing what he's saying about how he is thinking about his career and his game. And that's champ shit. That's real champ shit. He doesn't even want a title shot yet. He wants to go to Brazil and he wants to make his ground game as good as his stand-up game. And he's going to do it by XYZ. Like, that's a different type of thing. Kamaru is one of those guys you have to view his skill set like that, because that is how he thinks. That's how he's thought about his game from the beginning. He was good at wrestling and he wanted to develop other things. He goes over here, he goes to Whitman to develop that. And so like you can't, for a guy like that, you can't just go like, oh, Usman has bad stand-up. You're all based on what? And you start talking about fights that were fucking 11 fights ago. You're like, that doesn't apply. Look at this fight. Like you need to look at this and this fight. You know what I mean? Khamzat admitted on a vlog before that Dana approached him to miss weight to change the Diaz fight because if Diaz would have taken the beating, UFC would have pissed off a lot of fans. Oh, gosh, who predicted that to a T? Me. I didn't know that that Khamzat had said that that's why, though. I didn't know that. That's interesting. I mean, I'm not saying that he's got like world-class boxing. I'm saying it's MMA boxing. You know what I mean? Like, how do I did a video about this recently where I was saying, you know, MMA fighters are going into celebrity boxing and they're not really doing well and, you know, whatever. And it makes you think that like if a real boxer came into MMA and the fight stayed on the feet, that they would just be like the best boxers in MMA ever. And that's not necessarily true. It's a fucking different sport. You could throw so many different strikes. You have to be able to keep your weight, you know, in a way where if someone shoots on you, you can sprawl or you could do, you know what I mean? It's like, it's just a completely different sport. And Kamaru has excellent MMA boxing. Excellent. QAnon, it's a conspiracy. Thank you very much for this readout. You missed nothing. We just been bullshitting, dude. Just been bullshitting. Yeah, dude. You know what's funny about this? Hang on. Wait, where did that just go? Yeah. So someone put in my comments yesterday. So like, you know, the title of my video was UFC paid Khamzat to miss weight for the Nate Diaz fight. The guy's like, he never said the UFC paid him. Stop with the clickbait. And I was like, hey, your mom never told you that your dad fucked her to get her pregnant with you, but you kind of assumed that that was the case with common sense, right? You know what I mean? Like, oh, weird. Like, I guess we need to know that Khamzat was paid to do this huge fiasco where he's going to shuffle the card. Fucking, of course he got paid more money. And also, Holland did also, because Holland said he was going to retire after that, after he got paid for that fight card. Those are the two guys that were in on it. I would bet my life on that. Well, I would be, I mean, I know Khamzat was, and I would bet pretty heavy that Holland was also. Khamzat became an Emirate citizen so he can fight championships in America. Think about it, Ramzan. Yeah, I know. Kadyrov, I don't know. Like, Kadyrov is, you know, that can't be good. That can't be good for your ability to like travel in and out of the United States. You know, there are obviously a lot of perks of being Ramzan's boy in Chechnya. And I think that's probably the understatement of the century. You know, I don't think there's anything that, I mean, like a genuine true dictator like that in a country like that. If you're his boy, like Khamzat, just think of all the things you might want, you know. Beep, beep, boop. 5 girls, brother. Ooh, I totaled my Mercedes. Oh, send another one over. You know, he probably has a guy. I mean, it's like Kadyrov probably has a guy that is the dude that Khamzat calls, and his job is just to get Khamzat anything he wants, anytime he wants. I'm not saying anything negative about Kadyrov. I'm not fucking crazy. Guys are fucking. There are like real scary people in the world, and that dude is one of them. But also, like, I remember when Ali brought Gaethje, Usman, Triple C over to Chechnya, and they went and shot at the range and stuff. Someone asked me, they're like, would you have gone on that trip? I was like, fuck yeah, of course I would have. And they're like, are you serious? You'd go to Chechnya with Kadyrov? Do you know the dirt? I'm like, yeah, I would have gone for sure. If I was going with someone that I tried, like if Ali was my manager and he's like, it's cool, it's good, dude. We've been there before. He wants to welcome you. Fucking, of course I would go. I'll go in a second. How real do I think Shara Bullet is as champ? Shara Bullet. Sorry, I don't understand the question. What's up, my dude? Everybody support this channel because we need a lot more. Thank you, Yankees fan. If everybody could like this stream, that would be awesome. Are you talking about Magomedov? Are you talking about Magomedov? Welcome to the party, good sir. If you're talking about Shara Magomedov, he is the real deal, dude. Ali told me about him, like, dude, I don't even know. Like, Ali told me about him way before people were talking about it. He texted me. He was like, check this dude out. He's like, this guy's coming. And then I went and watched some of his highlights. I was like, holy shit. Have you guys watched that guy's highlights? And then I saw the fight of him where he beat that dude up in the mall. He's fucking crazy. He's also, I think it looks like he's blind in one eye. I don't know how he's getting, past the, didn't fucking Bisping have to like juke the commission when he was blind in one eye? And this dude is just like openly blind in one eye, but he's so creative on his feet. He's fucking scary, dude. I hope that he does really well because he has such an exciting style. Dude, Dylan Danis on the next Ultimate Fighter, would it be? Yeah, I mean, it would be huge. But I'm telling you, like, UFC is allergic to like they want eyeballs, but not that level of unpredictability. You know what I mean? Like, not that, like, believe me, I would love to see Dylan in the UFC from an entertainment perspective, like me on the other side of the curtain, just like watching and observing. I would love to see how he did in the cage and all that stuff. But if I had to guess, you got to just look at it through Dana and Hunter and them's eyes. They're like, are we gonna fucking pull the pin on this hand grenade and then roll it into the UFC? Because, like, I mean, dude, at the end of it, he smashed a fucking microphone on Logan's face. Okay. And as much as everybody loves seeing Logan get fucking assaulted with a fucking blunt object, there is a reason that has never happened before. Like, I've seen guys get knocked out at fucking press conferences. I've seen all kinds of crazy ass shit happen at pressers. I've never seen someone take a fucking sharp, blunt object and smash it on their opponent's face. Never. Not once. I have literally never once seen a person do that until Dylan did it. And everybody who was like, dude, Logan threw the thing first. I get it. But you guys are the same types of people that don't recognize, like, and believe me, I'm not saying that you're like these people exactly, but like, where you're less aware of your confirmation bias than you're aware of. Because I can absolutely fucking promise you that if it was like, I don't know, like if it was Khabib, right? If it was Khabib and he was walking up to the thing and he underhand threw a bottle at Dylan and then Dylan smashed his face with a microphone, nobody was going to be all, yeah, but but Khabib threw a fucking water bottle at him and underhand. It's like, you guys understand the reason this is making sense to you logically is because you hate Logan. I'm not saying it wasn't entertaining to see him get hit with a microphone. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, objectively, that's a fucking crazy thing to do, dude. Like, that isn't. Like, in the United States, if that exact situation happened and it was just a video of it, someone threw a water bottle at someone and they took a microphone and smashed it on their face, if the DA wanted to be a prick and charge him, they'd charge him with assault with a deadly weapon. That's what the charge would be for that. You know what I mean? I mean, just to listen. Okay, like this. If I flipped, like, and Dylan flipped it over like this, okay? Now, people might have thought, right? You remember he flipped it over. Let me, hold on. Okay. So, if you watch that in slow motion, right? Like, there's the thing right here. Dylan was holding it like this, right? And then when Logan threw the thing, he switched hands and grabbed it like this, right? So he switched hands. So he had it like this and he switched hands to do it like this. Okay. So at initial glance, that looks like he's doing it to protect Logan, maybe from the sharp part. Okay. What you don't understand is this side is like, if this thing weighs, this thing probably weighs 7 pounds. This probably weighs 7 pounds, maybe 8. Okay. This side weighs 1 pound. This side weighs all the rest. He fucking took the blunt side of it and smashed Logan's face with it. Okay. Like, bottom line, he smashed him with the blunt side of a fucking object like this, that for sure, like, if you hit someone with a blackjack, it's assault with a deadly weapon. Like, it was like Logan, him doing is fucking crazy. Like, Logan's a lot of things. He's not like a complete pussy, you know? He got hit with that mic and fucking ducked out, dude. Because he felt, I mean, he got smashed. So my point of all of that is, like, the likelihood the UFC is going to sign him seems extremely low to me, dude, after that. You know? Conor threw the dolly, Khabib hopped the fence, and all the Dagestanis got suspended. All the Dagestanis almost got kicked out of UFC. But that was because they jumped into the octagon and started attacking Conor, who had just got done fighting. You know? That's why. And, like, the UFC has been very consistent about that kind of thing. I mean, listen, dude, if it was Conor and he would have jumped in and he would have, you know, been punching whoever, like, Conor was too valuable. You're never going to kick him out. But, like, that's the same kind of thing. Like, you have to acknowledge someone jumping into the cage after a fight, after a guy just tapped out, and then punching a guy who had just tapped out. That's also fucking insane. You know what I mean? Like, that had never happened before, as far as I knew. I mean, well, that's for sure has to have happened before. But got a pool cue smashed on your head a year ago and went deaf for about 10 minutes. Dude, it's lucky it was only fucking 10 minutes, man. Kenny Lowe, welcome to the membership, dude. Exactly. Paul Daly against Josh Koscheck. Daly throws a fucking haymaker at Koscheck after the fight. And he gets a lifetime ban. Never back. Got kicked out of the UFC forever. But yeah, stop fucking spamming. I hate when people do that. You should live stream every morning. Nice sitting down, chatting with you, sipping some coffee. Should stream every morning. Thank you, dude. So where is it morning? Are you in Hawaii? You must be in Hawaii. Cue ball, you just went on timeout just because I felt like it. How you like them apples, you fucking pussy? Now you can't respond when I talk about the cue ball being a reference to the size of your puny ass little head. What? Nice joke, Jesse. I know. I knew he couldn't respond, so I didn't think I needed to come with my A game. Canada. Nice. No, if Conor did, they wouldn't ban him. There's like nothing Conor could do where they would ban him. Too much cash. It's possible, you know. Listen, I have said from the beginning, I can fix Slap League today. I can make it fucking awesome today. Right now. Just have to change one thing. Stop slapping people. Start leg kicking people. Okay? You go back and forth leg kicks until someone taps out. Unchecked, undefended leg kicks until someone taps out. It'll be the fucking best thing ever. I would participate in that. And I realize, ugh, God, that would be awful, dude. It'd be fucking awful getting kicked like that. But I can kick the fuck out of things too. So it's like worth it. You're like, take the shot. And fucking if someone folds me up, that's fine. But at least I'm not getting, not getting brain damage. Just, dude, just like, oh my God. And if you know how much those fucking hurt, dude, especially like, if you've seen the guy do it before and he's a fucking nuclear leg kicker, you'd just be like, oh God, oh my God. Please, God, let me win the coin toss. And then you win the coin toss. You're like, please, Lord Jesus. Because the thing is, like, even when you're, you could be ridiculously good at low kicks, but there are some that even on the bag, dude, like you land some so fucking hard, dude. And you land other ones like, you're like, a person who's just watching probably couldn't tell the difference, but you're like, that was so flush. You're like, God, I really gotta make this one count because he's gonna make this hurt so bad. When Dana retires, which is never going to happen, Hunter's going to take over for sure. That's a certainty. You rather take a slap over a leg kick from Gaethje? I don't think that's accurate. I can kick as hard as Gaethje all day. Dylan yelled, speak into the mic, and then threw it. No, he didn't. Swear to God. Yeah, I'll take the leg kick for sure, dude. It's going to hurt like fuck. But like, listen, dude, would you rather have a suit? Yeah, of course. Against a stationary target. Yeah. That's like the 100%. That's the like it like goes without saying for anybody who knows what they're doing. It's like yeah, it's meaningless. That's what I'm saying. Like the like drop down, punch the thing arcade game. I can fucking hit that thing as hard as anybody in the world. I max it out. Doesn't make me a good fighter. Just means I can punch really hard. You know what I mean? It's like, it's the same as like in jiu-jitsu where like guys learn all these fancy submissions and you're like, hey, how many times have you gotten that in real life? They're all, well, never. You're like, well, it's lucky you know how to do it then, Yeah, that is scary. Who doesn't like dick more than fighting? Are you serious? How is that a big gotcha? Everyone prefers dick to fighting, unless there's some kind of weirdo like you. You probably like you. Never mind. Never mind. That was gonna be a stupid joke. No, we should do celebrity leg kick matches. Correct. Correct. It just hurts different. It's hard to even like explain. It just hurts different. Getting hit in the head hurts a lot, obviously. It's just like so like blunt and violent. Like when you get hit in the head, when you get kicked in the leg, it slaps and stings. I don't even know how to explain it. It's like, it just feels super different. It hurts like fuck. But like when you get hit in the head, it's like, okay, I feel like I'm having legitimate damage dealt to my brain, and you are, versus like your leg, you're like, oh my God, this sucks for a while. Yeah, I mean, certainly depends, but yeah. Let me see. Francis versus is next weekend. Yeah. Oh shit! I'm gonna be in Cancun for that fight. Damn, that's crazy. I didn't even realize that. I'm gonna be in fucking Cancun. I'm going to Cancun on Monday, from Monday to Monday. I'm telling you, celebrity leg kicks. It'll be so fun, dude. No, like, dude, this is if you get a kick checked. That's exactly right. It's like if you get a kick checked, that's like when you slam your shin into something you did not realize is there, multiplied at whatever the force that you fucking threw it was. You know? Yes, it is. This is 100% not accurate, dude. 100% not accurate. I mean, I don't know where you live. In the United States, for sure. Absolutely for 100% sure. If they got you on video with this fucking thing, smashing someone in the head with it, 100% they could charge you with assault with a deadly weapon. They might plead it down, but that's what the charge would be. Because if you think that I couldn't kill a person with this, you are fucking out of your mind. Out of your mind. I catch someone on the top of the head with this, you could crack a skull easily with this thing. Absolutely easily. Wait, Sean Strickland says Khamzat wins this fight, but 170 full camp 5 rounds. Usman wins that all day. That's what Strickland said? Interesting. Interesting. Quick tips on how to build a channel. Set goals that you can control. I will post this many videos per week, no matter what, for 2 years. And then do that and then see where you're at. I mean, if he threw it, it's a little different, but he spiked it on him and just kind of let go at the end. You know what I mean? Tim Elliott versus Muhammad Makayev is oh shit. Let me text. Tim Elliott's coach is my boy. Let me see if he's out there actually. I used to feather to subdue vicious sagger thugs. Alien. Interesting. Tim Elliott's boy is your coach. Chris Brennan is his coach, as far as I understand it. Elliott's a beast. This is how it goes, dude. This is how it goes. Now, I'm a lot of things. Dumb ain't one of them. Well, that's not true. I'm dumb as fuck, actually. I'm actually a complete and total fucking moron. Just not when it comes to anything that I talk about on this channel. I mean, if Tim Elliott does what he does and is super scrappy, it's like, I don't know. He's hard to predict, dude. He's just so like Tim Elliott is so fucking like unpredictable on the ground. You know what I mean? Like he's just incredibly resilient. Now, if I was going to guess, I think the UFC thinks this is a great matchup for Chimaev. I mean, basically, like if they go and they're fighting in if they're fighting in fucking Abu Dhabi outside of the main event ones, like they're trying to set up and this is just the way it is business-wise. They're trying to give good matchups to the Muslim fighters on the card because they're trying to build their profile out there. You know what I mean? That's why, you know, they must like the matchup, but I mean, who knows? We'll see. Who censors people? I put people on timeout who put dumb, retarded, empty bullshit. Austin is there with Tim Elliott. Oh. Fight of the night. I hope it's Kamaru versus Khamzat. I hope that's what it is because, I mean, I've said this 1,000. The best fight I have ever seen in person by a mile was Burns against Khamzat when we were in Jacksonville for 273. That was like, it was, dude. I mean, again, my hands hurt for a week from just slamming the fucking bar in front of us because we were in the front and the bar was right in front of us. It's like that fight was unreal. So hopefully it's that one because that would be an incredible fight if it's no, I know, but like I said, I'm a fucking depends on, you know, like you could Guru says round one Khamzat. Could be. Thoughts on Dricus turning down the fight against Izzy? Costly mistake. But like a costly mistake purely from a career standpoint. But that said, I completely understand why he did it. His explanation, which not enough people have talked about, makes perfect sense. He was like, because everyone was like, you're never going to get the opportunity to fight under the ideal circumstances. He's like, no shit. He's like, I injured my foot 3 weeks before this fight against Whitaker, and I didn't pull out. He's like, I fought injured. He's like, what I'm saying is that now I just need a little bit of time to heal because I can't do my whole camp injured. He couldn't spar for the 3 weeks going into the Robert Whitaker fight, but he was kind of like, okay, I've got most of my camp done, so I'll still fight. But like, it's just honestly what it is. Bad luck, dude. It's bad luck that happened. Usman and Volk have had complete changes as far as being hated to loved. Volk, dude, is the fucking man. That fight in Australia against Islam was incredible. I've never seen someone connect to the crowd like that before throughout the whole fight, ever. And Kamaru has been slowly growing on me forever. I met Kamaru at UFC 287 in Miami. You know, super brief. Like I was talking to Ali for a couple minutes. Like Gabrielle met Ali, and then Usman was with Ali, but he like was coming in after we had been talking to Ali and going out, and I just, you know, said what's up. I've never had anything negative to say about Usman ever. Does Volk win? I mean, he's again, I think that he had the most ideal circumstances to win in Australia, full camp, hometown guy, connecting with the crowd the way he did. Potentially Islam might have underestimated his grappling, etc. I think he has a much more challenging situation this time because not at home, did not have a full camp. Islam knows everything that's coming. So Islam won last time. I don't see how you could pick Volk to win. Doesn't mean that he won't win, but I would say going into this fight, he's less likely to win than he was last time, and Islam still won. So, you know what I mean? Did I hear about the new Miss Marvel movie? That it's going to bomb? Yes. Volk looked really tired at the press conference. I don't get, I don't give a lot of thought to that kind of stuff. Someone looks tired at the presser. That said, 5-round fight, who knows? I mean, if it doesn't mean it won't come into play. I'm not sure how well I can read oh, this guy looks tired versus I don't know. I don't feel like I can tell if a guy's tired or just calm, or because the other thing too is that you just he's in Abu Dhabi. You know what I mean? You're in Abu Dhabi, which is a very different environment than where you would be at other press conferences. And it's possible that you just want to make sure that you're being respectful. And so you don't want to, I don't know, you might want to just be a little bit more subdued because that's where you are. I don't know. You know what I mean? Dude, speaking of Abu Dhabi, you know who might be the hottest creature to ever do have you guys seen a picture of Laura Sanko when she was in Abu Dhabi and she's wearing the head thing? I just saw that today. I'm like, dude, she should wear that all the time. Let me see if I can find it. I am a big fan of pretty girls with their hair, their hair up though. So this is kind of like the same. Here it is. I mean, come on, son. Jesus. Good God. Dime. Dime to dime, dime, dime. Anywho. Oh, the only other thing I was going to talk about too is I heard that they re-implemented the flag ban, because they're in Abu Dhabi. They probably are like, oh, they're going to be talking about Palestine and Israel and, Hamas and blah, 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 blah. And they're like, no, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Why not just let people say what they're going to say, dude? You know what I mean? I don't understand. It's like, why not just, I guess there is a possibility that someone could say something into the microphone that could be so inflammatory that actually physically at the event it causes problems, I guess. But I don't know. I mean, you could tell that if she did, it would affect her, her score as a 10, not even one little bit. The blonde Russian chick on this card might be the hottest active fighter. She is up against Deanna Belbita for the top spot, in my opinion. But let's see. So, oh, you're talking about Victoria Dudakova. Hold on. If that's what you're talking about, you are tripping, bro. Maria Agapova. Oh, okay. So different person. Hang on. Dude, Sharaputdin Magomedov is on the early prelims. What? How is that even possible? I can't believe that. They got Magomedov on the early prelims. That is so crazy. That doesn't even make sense. That's crazy. I did see the locals boo in India. I'm glad. That's all I wanted to do is spread the love. You know who made a video on his escalator fiasco? Me. A long time ago. This guy. Here. It got age restricted when I did this video. This was in now when in a drought of fights that an undefeated UFC fighter who is the future of the middle. I did this 9 months ago, and I can't show it now because it'll get age restricted again. No, dude, India, when they boo India, like India's this is my speculation because someone asked me about it yesterday. India and Pakistan are fucking absolute arch enemies. Like arch enemies. So that's my hypothesis is that it has to do with that. I don't know. That's my hypothesis, but all right, I'm going to jump out of here. But yeah. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Peace.